The Group 1 Gold Cup at Royal Ascot. Scandinavia started favourite for Aidan O'Brien, with the Gosden's defending champion Trawlerman the next pick.
Want to just follow Trawlerman. I think they won't be far away.
Last one going forward, your big race caller is Richard Hoyles.
All set to go.
And they're all set. And they're off and racing. Riffa was the one that was a little bit slow into stride. Trawlerman is well away. Carmers and also Scandinavia's Whiteface well to the fore in the very early strides, but Trawlerman is going to be allowed to stride on to try and repeat the tactics of 12 months ago. Further in the yellow colours has already edged over to the rail with Miss Alpilles, Sweet William and Rahiebb mid-division. Caballo De Mar wider out in red and white, and the last three are the red and white of Nayyir, also towards the back, the white cap of Dubai Future, and after starting slowly, Riffa is the back marker as they make their way up the home straight. Trawlerman it is, marked by Scandinavia, a length between the two. Carmers and Caballo De Mar dispute third place with Furthur, and then Sweet William, who's towards the inside of the field of Rahiebb. Then behind these we have Nayyir, Miss Alpilles, Dubai Future, and last of all is Riffa. The pace, however, is only a steady, even one at the moment. They are quite well clustered as a result. And out in the lead it is Trawlerman, who brings the Gold Cup field up the home straight for the first time. In second place is Scandinavia in the blue and orange with the white face, and then on the inside the pale colours of Furthur. Caballo De Mar just beginning to get in danger of being posted a little wide, and as a result his rider Rasheen Murphy tries to push forward. He's three wide as we stand, but he's now going to move forward to try and avoid that as we approach the bend, and Ryan Moore's having none of it. He's going to try and keep Caballo De Mar a little wide here, so an early little joust of tactics as out in the lead Trawlerman. Caballo De Mar does press on, and as a result Ryan now finds himself back in third. He glanced over his shoulder on Scandinavia. Further racing on the inside on the outside is Carmers. Sweet William settles in midfield with Rahiebb in the yellow colours towards that one's outer, and then Miss Alpilles, who's on the outside of Nayyir, Dubai Future and Riffa as they begin the run down the hill. So now out in the lead Trawlerman, just under restraint here. You can see William Buick just trying to hold that mount back. Scandinavia's now posted three wide, no bends coming up, but Ryan Moore just keeping an eye on whether or not he can go forward or slot in behind the red and white colours of Caballo De Mar. Further Carmers, Sweet William, then Rahiebb as they continue their progress down the hill. So Trawlerman out in the lead, Caballo De Mar in second place, Furthur in third. About a quarter of a mile till we reach the bend, so Scandinavia's just been eased back to fourth place, but gave up the position he had to Caballo De Mar. Sweet William is in fifth place, just ahead of Carmers, then Rahiebb, a length and a half back to Nayyir, and the back three at Swindley Bottom as they turn at the far end. Miss Alpilles, Dubai Future, and last of all is Riffa. So we're turning at the far end, and we're getting now the steady turn uphill. Trawlerman has the lead, Caballo De Mar is second place, racing in third is Furthur as they move into the bend. In fourth place is Scandinavia, then Carmers on the outside of Sweet William. Yellow jacket of Rahiebb covers up Nayyir, and then towards the back Dubai Future, Miss Alpilles, and as they climb the hill Riffa is last of all. So now we begin this steady climb, and Trawlerman just begins to try and press on. Caballo De Mar just being nudged along in second. Scandinavia in third place, wanting to try and cover the move of Trawlerman, and Ryan Moore moves a little further forward. In fourth place Furthur, then Carmers, Sweet William and Rahiebb as we continue our progress steadily climbing. Nayyir comes next, and out in the lead it's Trawlerman. In second Caballo De Mar. Ryan Moore wants to get a little bit closer on Scandinavia. In third place, 2 lengths back to Furthur, then round the outside Rahiebb, who begins to make some progress. Off the home turn, Trawlerman with Caballo De Mar. Scandinavia shaken up, is 2 lengths back. Rahiebb is in fourth place with 3 furlongs to go in the Gold Cup. It's Trawlerman who leads them in once again. Caballo De Mar in second. Scandinavia now beginning to challenge on the outside. They've moved on from Carmers and Rahiebb. 2 furlongs to go in the Gold Cup. Trawlerman faces a new adversary in Scandinavia. There's a neck between the pair, and they move on from Caballo De Mar. Trawlerman not relinquishing his crown lightly. Down the outside, Scandinavia has got to within a neck, but Trawlerman still in front. Scandinavia trying hard, a neck down, a head down, and Scandinavia forces his head up to provide Aidan O'Brien with his 100th Royal Ascot winner in the feature race of the week. Trawlerman in second, Sweet William third, and back in fourth was
Scandinavia is the champ. Trawlerman dethroned in a titanic struggle. The 4-year-old Antyre had just enough in reserve to go past the stubbornest of pacemakers. Sheesh. I certainly underestimated Scandinavia myself, but from now on, if Aidan O'Brien says he does only what he has to do about a horse, I'll believe it. The first two home clearly a class above the rest at the 4-kilometre distance. It was 9 lengths back to third placed Sweet William, who was 1.5 lengths ahead of our Riffa. Of the rest, Miss Alpilles was a game 5th, while Carmers held on for a noteworthy 6th, with connections pre-Ascot Gold Cup already honing in on a Melbourne Cup berth for Carmers. As for Rahiebb, he felt the sting 2 furlongs out despite racing off the pace. Caballo De Mar, he actually finished last despite him being in the picture until the final furlong. A veterinary report declaring the horse was showing signs of heat stress after the race. As for the future, nothing definite has been stated, but Scandinavia, I would guess, will rock up at Goodwood to defend his Goodwood Cup title over 2 miles. As for Trawlerman, he has made a habit of dodging the Goodwood Cup, and the Gosdens are unlikely to rush the horse back after a gut buster like that. A couple of key moments to mention, but first the fanfare.
Trying hard, a neck down, a head down, and Scandinavia forces his head up to provide Aidan O'Brien with his 100th Royal Ascot winner in the feature race.
Incredible, because although it looked like Trawlerman was battling back, I was watching Ryan and his body language, and I just knew he was waiting for that sucker punch, you know.
Those 2 horses. Ryan, just your thoughts. Let's get those first of all on what was a fabulous race.
Yeah, he should have won easier. I was happy where I was. Then O'Sheen came up around me and I didn't want us all going through in a line. And then he took me out of the race. I had to work to get to Trawlerman.
That moment that you say when Trawlerman fought back, what was the confidence like that he would get back up and beat it?
Aidan said before, he said, you have to get stuck into him. I said, no, that's, so be it. We're happy about that. Glad to do it. He's always, his record since he got beat here last year, he just keeps finding a way to win. So.
Tell you, we knew the second horse is a great horse, very brave, and obviously our lad is only a 4-year-old, and he joined him, and you don't know until you go past that 2-furlong mark what's going to really happen. But we felt he was very brave. He always showed that in every race. He's relentless. He cruises. So listen, it's an honour and a privilege for me to be involved in the team, to be the small part I am with everybody. And the reality is everyone puts in the work, and we watch it going on, and like I say, I can't tell you how grateful we are to everybody.
Okay, here's a key moment I had predicted would occur in my Gold Cup preview. The field is trekking down to the first turn, and Ryan Moore and Scandinavia are challenged by Caballo De Mar and Oisin Murphy, wearing red. Now, Moore has a choice. He can let Caballo De Mar overtake without a challenge, or he can make life difficult. He chooses the latter. At the end of the race, the early exertion from Murphy on Caballo De Mar results in that horse hitting the wall a furlong from home, instead of boxing away for a brave third against Staying's heavyweights. What this also tells us, the fact that Moore made Caballo De Mar work to get an advanced position, is Moore must not have believed, at least at this stage, that Scandinavia had a monstrous superiority over that horse. He makes Caballo De Mar work, partly because he might regret not doing it at the end of the race.
Restraint here. You can see William Buick just trying to hold that mount back. Scandinavia's
now we move to another key moment. Not much further into the race, we actually see Ryan Moore briefly in a vulnerable position where he could have been punished. So here he is, 3 wide. I would posit that it was a moment where the pace slackened, and rather than pull the reins and lose some momentum, he pulls the horse out of the line and keeps up his smooth progress. Now, just for a moment, Billy Lee on Carmers has an opportunity to push up and ensure the favourite covers extra ground in a 3-wide position at the next bend. The jockey fails to act. I interpret his lack of action with 2 possible standpoints. The jockey may have A, thought he doesn't want to affect the rhythm of his own horse by briefly accelerating to keep more out wide, or B, he doesn't believe his horse can actually win, and so hindering Scandinavia, the favourite, is not a priority.
Of Caballo De Mar, Furthur, Carmers, Sweet William, then Rahiebb as they continue their progress down the hill. So Trawlerman out in the lead, Caballo De Mar in second place, Furthur in third. About a quarter of a mile till we reach the bend, so Scandinavia's just been eased back.
Now we're looking at the final stages and where we see William Buick looking not so perfect. He's not looking perfectly balanced. Trawlerman is shifting left and right. That may be due to weariness, but after watching the final stages 20 odd times, I think I've worked out the issue here, and this time we picked them up from side on, but we're counting each time the jockey uses the whip. And keep in mind, the rules in British racing allow only 6 uses of the whip. At this point, as Scandinavia asserts himself, Buick is forced into his second crack of the whip, and it changes the picture. Trawlerman surges back and gets himself in front. After a third crack, he moves clear and forces more into using the whip. Scandinavia was demonstrating his signature laziness, getting to the front and turning down the heat, but this time he was up against a serious horse. Moore uses the whip 2 more times, and by now Buick has used up his 6 whips and can only threaten and flail the reins around to convince Trawlerman to get up off the floor 1 more time. But it's not enough. What a race. There is nowhere to hide in the Gold Cup.